blessed. I know it seems like a strange thing to say sometimes because so much is happening and none of it matches what we were told when we grew up. So it's a little humorous if you can allow yourself to be in that space, because that's what I was doing. Because I know for me, I was born in 1960, and everything I was taught was pretty naive and pretty unconscious. And we still are breaking free of hundreds. I mean, I don't know, some people say 500, but longer than 500 years, thousands of years of very dark consciousness. That's being separate from ourselves, being separate from source, being separate from the light, being separate from love, being separate from abundance, from infinite possibilities. And so we're so lucky because in our lives in the 50s or the 40s or the 20s or the medieval ages or the 1800s or caveman days or whatever, all of the previous times to this, we've had extremely low conscious states going on, and we're still living in them because our systems and our conditioning have been set up that way. Why that came through right now, I don't know. However, as we go into this delicious day, yes, we are blessed. That's what I was saying. I know it's easy to get caught up in drama or fear of your own life. If you have people that are ill or died recently or are dying, or you have some kind of a challenging diagnosis for your body, or perhaps your jobs and your career are in tumultuous positions right now, and you're feeling uncertain, unsafe, and you're getting consumed within yourself. This is what we have to break free from. All of this, go to work, have a job, do this, do that, be this, be that, drive a car, this means this, that means that, you've got to be on Facebook and da-da-da-da. That is not truth, okay? This is never truth. This is where we are. This is the reality we chose to come into. And the reality is that our soul, all the lives in our soul, and none of them are irrelevant. It's just that at this point, we've gotten to a level of consciousness that if you can accept you are an individual who is also one of the whole, but the first whole you're a part of is your soul. And, oh, thank you. Okay. I'm sort of going, what's this about? Okay. Well, in the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp, and you can still join us, and we have our class tonight, so it's going to be really awesome because we're playing in these energies. You know, we're looking for ways to connect to our messengers because we know that there is nonstop guidance happening. Our higher self, our body is talking to us all the time. Our emotions and our mind are talking to us all the time, and not necessarily in a positive way, in a habitual way, in a repetitive way. I can't remember what it is, but it's some ridiculous amount, like 80-90% of thoughts are repetitive. They're non-productive. So if you start to catch yourself thinking about something over and over and over and over, and you're hurt about it, and you're upset about it, or you're frustrated with it, or you're angry with it, or you regret it, it doesn't matter what the story around it is. So we were taught that the more you suffered, the better person you will be, and they don't relate in the new world. So we're going into the new world. We are in the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate is a stargate. It's an alignment of different aspects of the cosmic skies. And the reason I do the spiritual weather report, and that's what we're doing now, is that for me, it became really, really powerful when I started to realize that there was so much more going on than this reality I'd been told to work hard and be a good person and pay your bills on time and all of that stuff. So there's nothing wrong with that, but that is not the purpose that you're here. Your purpose is not to extend your life as much as possible, get as much money as possible, get the biggest plaque on your door as possible, please everybody around you as possible, make sure everybody likes you, or whatever other story you're living through. So it isn't that anything that you are doing or that you have or that you enjoy or that you feel you want to try is wrong. Go underneath it. What do you truly want? That's all that Spirit told me. this spring. That's not all, but I downloaded so much information, so many messages, just nonstop. I was asking and connecting and clearing and doing all this very deep shamanic work and light body work that I do, and saying, what is optimal? What is the thing that is most needed right now? What is the thing that I could, that I am designed for to bring into the world so that I make a big difference in the world? And you feel this way too. How can I make a difference? How can I love more? How can I help more? How can I be more? How can I be more? And we've translated that into thinking that be more means you have to make X amount of money or you have to do it in a certain way. Here's where we're moving. We're moving into the individual. We're moving into our spiritual selves. We're moving into our multidimensional truth. And the multidimensional truth is the fun truth, because in fact, we have layers and layers and layers to us. And those layers contain so much information we couldn't even imagine. And yet some of that information is not good information. It's outdated information. It's unfunctional information. It's information that's got PTSD or has locked down or has made a vow or has made a contract. So today we're in a fire sign. And the beauty of the Leo season that we're in is that it's a fire sign, and Leo's sun, ruling planet, is the sun. So we have a lot of sun, and I didn't know that till after I put on my sunflower outfit today. I was thinking, what is the flower and the stone for Leo? Because I didn't remember. And so I looked it up, and it's carnelian, by the way, and sunflower. And sunflowers are, they're just, yeah, you could probably study sunflowers for about 3 months nonstop. The sacred geometry and all the other stuff going on. So here's the beauty. We've got sun energy. We have Leo energy. We have all the qualities and aspects of Leo. So I'm going to give you those, and then we're going to tune in. So we are aware. We are inside of the sacred chamber. And in a moment, we'll do the meditation. And you are already, every time you enter a call with me, you always enter into the Infinity Healing Chamber. So namaste. And I've been rearranging and talking to my friends here. I brought Thoth back upstairs. He went downstairs for a while. Thoth is my #1 guide and teacher, and who I've channeled much of my information from for the classes. And he's a part of the Atlantean. He's Atlantean. He started Egypt, ancient Egypt, and seeded all of the cultures around the planet with the magic, the wisdom, the writing, the understanding of Atlantis. And what that means is that it also connects to Sirius. And so what is a Lion's Gate? We've been talking for about a month, I guess, right? Since July 3rd on the full moon, which I was at the Dolphin Retreat. We were doing a sound bath and all kinds of wonderful things on the full moon. That was the first time that Sirius is coming back into our skies, that we can see it. And Sirius is a star, and it's typically known for the blue ray. I see it violety blue, and I also see a lot of silver coming from them. And it's a well-known star that the ancients used all the time. And when you track the stars, which they did because they knew that they held information, Sirius would rise again, would come back into, some stars, Pleiades, you see better in the winter and so on, depending where you live. So Sirius has been coming back, and yes, we do have a stronger connection. We receive more energy from any of these things. It's a super full moon. It means the moon is closer. It looks bigger, but we also feel it more. So Sirius has been rising, and we've had these series of 777 gateways through the month of July. I did at least one show on those. You could look it up here on YouTube. It's quite wonderful. And hi, Sonia. Hi, Ocean Goddess. Ooh, hello, sweetie. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Sandra and Sylvia and Brittany, and happy Lionsgate, everybody. And so when Sirius rises, we've had these little moments like 777, okay? 77, the 7th of July. And I think it was the 25th and then the 28th or something, if I can remember correctly. But those dates, everything lined up so that the energies of the sevens, which we know is a master number, it's also a completion number. When you have three numbers, we tend to call it an angel number, and it is communication. A lot of communication comes through numbers. We know this. That's my favorite number. That's the number I saw all day. 333s come up on my phone every day for 14 days or whatever. So all of these kinds of things. But 777 also has an ability to open a portal. And so with Sirius aligning with our sun, aligning in the Leo fire sign, we have what we call Sirius is our spiritual sun. And it's not a sun in the way that we think of our sun. However, if you think of what our sun does, in astrology, sun is self. It is you. Oh, here I am. I pull in all different disciplines. So you're looking at the sun. It is filled with gold. It's gold ray. So if you get the chart of the rays, it's in my shop. It's free. You can look at chart of the rays of creation. You can see that the 12th ray of creation, and there's more, but this is the original 12 rays that are still here for you to create with and uncreate with. And the 12th ray contains all the other rays. So it's basically everything you need to create. It is the place where you connect to the divine and to abundance, because there is no resistance and there is no doubt. You don't have that. When you receive from the sun, the purpose is, if you know who you are, the more you discover who you are, the more you will align with the exact codes that the sun has for you. Then you aren't hurt by that. So remember, energy, everything has energy, everything has a personality, everything has a power, a purpose. Turquoise has certain qualities. People buy it for the color or for the energy or for the throat chakra or for communication or for healing or so on and so forth, okay? So this has a particular medicine energy, all right? So the energies of fire, the fire sign in Leo, well, Leo is a lion, and we'll talk about a little bit of that in a moment. But the gold ray holds for you the connection to the divine. It is what I call the gold god ray. And then there's a silver ray, which is holding the sacred feminine frequency. And these are always here, and we can take them in equal amounts. So the Sirian energy contains a lot of that silver goddess ray. It contains the blue ray. It contains the blue ray of wisdom and love. And this is the ray or the frequency that ascended masters, people like Kuan Yin. If you like Kuan Yin, she's a very popular ascended master. And she was a person who evolved through a lot of pain and horror, as happens on Earth. And when she became enlightened, which means that she rose out of feeling like a victim, being enslaved, or being stuck. She no longer realized she no longer had to identify with what was done to her. She didn't have to give it the meaning other people had. These are what happened to you when you become an ascended master, when you become your true self. So the sun helps you become yourself because it says, this is how big you are, this is how bright you are. And we have a great central sun, and we have the sun, our sun, on this Earth planet. And then we have a 12th chakra. So if you just imagine your chakras going up, because they're really around you, but so your 12th chakra, you have 7, crown, 8, solar plexus, 9, interstellar gateway. And you keep going from there. And the 12th one is the great central sun chakra. So you actually have within your field an energetic aspect to your light body that is giving you a place to receive sun energy, gold ray energy, abundant energy. What does the gold ray do? What does the sun do? It brings life force. And the sun's flares have been getting stronger. We're watching a lot of this now because we have equipment to be able to see closer to the sun and to the planets. And we're watching from our 3D eyes an aspect of energetically the evolution of what's happening to this sun. It is time for us to evolve, the whole planet. We know that. So these gates have been opened and they've poured through very divine high frequency energies. And these energies have been giving our spirit, our blueprint, our truth. Our ninth chakra holds our soul blueprint, and so it's also in our belly, in our base of our spine. Then you have your solar plexus. Everybody knows that. That's your belly. And that is also a sun portal. So what I want you to realize is that when you say, oh, okay, I'm in the Lion's Gate, this is great, the energies are pouring in all day, they're really beneficial, they're giving me opportunity to evolve my spirit, they're giving the earth and every living thing on it, especially those things that receive the sun. I get the sun right in this little window every morning, and all the crystals right here get a bath. It's really interesting. And so they are receiving that energy each differently. Right? We put crystals in the sun to clear them, to cleanse them, and they get renewed, refreshed. Plants, we know, need a certain kind of light. If they get too much or too direct light, it burns them. So that medicine of this life force gold ray is not good for them in direct sun. Some plants like direct sun, and if they don't get enough sun, they die. So the medicine in anything isn't good or bad, and that's true for you, and it's true for your life. So all the energies that have been building this year, everything that has been evolving us is giving us and all aspects of our soul, every life in our soul has the potential and the opportunity to evolve. And I don't think anybody's ever talked about this, but it's become a bit of a soapbox, I think, in a way, because I see people saying, one, oh my God, I have to know all my past lives, and then giving your power to your past lives. They're very interesting, by the way, and incredibly healing. However, I've been seeing people experience their past lives in my sessions for 30 years or more. And what I've seen is an evolution of how they connect to them. So this is about unity. We've reached unity consciousness. You have to reunite and realize I'm a soul and I have lots of other lives in this soul, lots of other ones that have other experiences. They've been to school. They've been a mother or they haven't been a mother. They've been a man, a little girl, or a boy. They've been a painter. They've been a slave. They've been a queen. Okay? They've studied the mysteries in the ancient Mayan schools and the ancient Egyptian schools in Atlantis, or they've been trained on another planet in another system. None of that container is the point. The point is that you have a shit ton of wisdom and knowledge in you. And so instead of seeing your past lives as wounds, because that's how we saw everything, and we're leaving that, I've been saying that for a while now, stop waiting to find your wounds. Move in the direction you think that you are called to right now, and you will run into those walls. You will find them. And you have lives in your soul that specifically chose to come to this life with you. Okay? So when you sat down and said, okay, I will be the consciousness. So I will be Brittany, I will be Sylvia, I will be, Lisa, I will be Kim, and I will go in, and what is it that is the best use of me being alive at this time on this planet when this experiment is happening, when this unusual evolutionary moment is happening. So it doesn't matter that if you haven't studied or don't care about the mysteries or astrology or anything else. What you want to do is you want to know what's happening. You need to know the weather. You need to know what's the best way to travel. You need to know what's the best path for you. You need to know how to feed yourself, how to nourish yourself, how to bring you an environment that attracts the medicine that's beneficial to you and doesn't fry you out. You too can get too much sun, okay? That could be energetically. But what's beautiful about this today is that you can stand with an open heart and you can receive, because the energy from our spiritual sun, from Sirius, is that divine sacred feminine, along with all these other energies, okay? There's a very protective and angelic energy as well in that blue ray. We have other beings who love the blue ray, the frequency of living in the blue. So we have Shiva, and we have the blue avians, and we have other ones. I'm just trying to remember right now. Lemurians are typically or are often seen with bluish skin. And we have water elementals or undines or mermaid type beings. And the blue planet we live on, right? And so what happens when you combine these two rays? Well, the spiritual sun is open at the peak today, and you're going to keep feeling it for a few days for sure. And we've been feeling it working up to this. What you want to do is be an excellent receiver. All right. And you want to get clear that the Leo energy is positive and empowering. It is holding, it's fixed fire. Okay. So fixed fire, I'm Sagittarius with Leo rising. And so I relate to both. And, but I am mutable. I'm like here, there, up, that, flash fires and down and this and that. And Leo's just the bonfire is the sun. Okay. Or the sunflower. Just think about that. This is what's here for you. And if the sunflower is Leo's flower, then the sacred geometry, this pattern of the seeds, go look one up, will blow your mind. It is the tube torus. It is looking down into the tube torus. It is looking at an aspect of the flower of life. It is sacred geometry, and it is an infinite vortex, a portal that is constantly and infinitely drawing in energy, and again, and this is what's happening through you. So you're getting both the sun, you have the confidence, and this is positive self-image. This is self-love. This is not forced confidence. And typically I don't like the word confidence because of that. Let's see. Well, let's take a look real quick at our slides, and then we're going to move into the meditation. So screen, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me check real quick. Good. All right. Bueno, bueno. Where are we going here? We are. And there we go. Okay, so as you think about today, not just today, but what I want you to do is really receive. So if you were there for the full moon that we did, it was all about receiving. It was about deliciously walking around and seeing and perceiving the messages, the energy, the medicine, the deliciousness. I love turquoise, and so I have walls that are turquoise, and I live in front of the sea, and then there's my pool, and everything is so blue and so turquoise. And then I had someone tell me, you need to surround yourself with that because you're so much fire. And I thought, oh, you know, that's one reason why I love to drink in the blue energies, the blue colors. Okay, so, oh yes, good answer. So I'm starting a new community, a monthly community. It's been a very long time since I've had one of these, and it's on special right now. It's month to month, or you can buy for the year and get a big deal. And we just meet twice a month. We get messages, we play with all the sacred spirit guides, and we have an incredible time. And then I channel once a month, I channel a meditation for you from one particular spirit guide. These are some of my sunsets recently. My neighbor's building a wall. And pretty spectacular though, right? So this I thought was really great. Here we are leading into the Lion's Gate, and we're having this fiery sunsets and fiery sunrises. So beautiful energies to absorb and to take in. Okay, so I've mentioned most of this. I'm going to skip through it. This is the time when it comes into a peak. So it's been over a month that Sirius has been rising into our awareness. But here's what's fun. It's fun because at one point, it became so close to the sun that we couldn't see it in the sky anymore. It was in the aura or the rays or the radiance of the sun, and that's where it's been now. And right now, so what it's doing is it's just kind of leaving that radiant field of the sun. And so if you imagine that our spiritual sun and then our 3D sun, so our body and our spirit, have just merged and spent a little bit of time together, charging each other up, very intimate, very beautiful, I think. And now Sirius is moving forward. And so today, because of the stream of gold rays from the great central sun, it's going to the star Sirius, which has been right next to our sun. And so it gathers those blue rays, and then it comes in through our sun. And remember, we have a lot of crystalline grids around the Earth, many, many layers that have been worked and added to and activated. And if you've been a part of those, it's been a wonderful series over many, many decades of creating a grid to assist the Earth to be protected, to be able to download these high frequencies now. So just like us, our beautiful planet is evolving. And then it comes down into the Earth. So how that pours in comes into you, comes into the pyramids. It comes into certain vortexes. It comes into crystalline grids that go through the Earth. It comes into the crystals in the Earth, the crystals in the ocean that were programmed, the crystals in different places that were programmed by the ancient cultures that are waking up now with their wisdom, the crystal vortexes in places like Arkansas and Brazil. And it also comes in through the Sphinx. The Sphinx was a lion woman. Okay, it's a lion's body with a woman. And it was built during the Leo era. Okay, and in actuality, I believe there were two sphinxes, and they were guardians and gateways to the path that led into this sacred place. It's right next to the pyramids. And when you go there, I was there at dawn with my group, meditating between the paws of the Sphinx, right up at the heart chakra. And the amount of light beings was crazy, the amount of power that is there. And what happens is that when we have a gateway, a stargate like this, Sirius was aligned to the Queen's Chamber in the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. And the Orion Gate was aligned to the King's Chamber. And I've been into the King's Chamber. I've been into they call it the sarcophagus. I've been into the Ascension box stone in sacred ceremony in the King's Chamber with underneath that shaft. I haven't had the same honor of being able to do that in the Queen's Chamber like on today. Would be amazing, right? To be in the Queen's Chamber. But so this tells you also, again, how the wisdom they're teaching us is the balance of the masculine and feminine. They have both chambers within this great pyramid, which is an energizer and a generator and all that. And they work with the shaft. The energy pours down today, and it's going directly down that shaft into the Queen's Chamber. Now, whether you're there or not, you could send your spirit there. You could ask if you have any other lives there that were connected to it. Because one of the topics that's come up in the Intuition Awakening School is it outdated to worry about your past lives? And it is from a wound perspective, not that they don't have them still, but it isn't from the perspective that all lives carry wisdom, all lives carry knowledge, and all lives deserve to be freed from whatever they're stuck in or whatever beliefs they're in. And you are right now going through a metamorphosis, and so are the other lives in your soul. So all of those, and there could be one where you were a priestess of Isis. You went through the mystery schools, or you received some kind of healing, or you lived near there, or you lived in a tribe that understood those energies anywhere on the planet. So I was just at Sibil Chaltun, which is an ancient Mayan site very close to me, and I'm going again tomorrow. And I was so drawn to this one temple. I'd walked past it many times, and so I climbed in a very sacred way, did a bunch of things, listened to the guidance, go to the four corners. I was weaving energy and listening to the messages coming up, and there was these grasses with this pink, soft, fluffy stuff on the end. So I pulled one out and was chewing on it. So I was literally ingesting the DNA of the energy. And then a lady walked by and said, "That's the temple of Venus." And I was like, of course, of course, of course. So Venus is a star that changes from the morning star to the evening star, and was also considered very, very, very important, and holds, of course, divine, sacred, feminine energy. So these are the things also that come up. We tend to think of Leo as being masculine, but not necessarily, because the Sphinx is a woman. All right. And these two women held the opening to the pathway to your true divine powers. And they've been very successful. Governments all around the world, religions and governments, have been extremely successful at suppressing the wisdom, the knowledge, the energy, and the age of these ancient sites. Some of the ages they're coming up now with Mayan sites are 300,000 years old. And they're barely willing to admit something is 5,000 or 10,000 years old because of their story, and they're feeling that it's going to give them lose their grip on people. And it's true. So we're watching that. All right. What you were raised to believe is falling apart, because it's doesn't make any sense anymore, for one, when you're a divine being. So you're receiving this energy. You can see or sense or connect to any place you've been. So if you've been to the pyramids, or if you've been to another sacred site, if you've been to any place that has a very strong sun connection, if you've been to any of the pyramids here with me on one of my retreats, you can connect to those places without going during this beautiful time, to ask for your freedom, to ask for your re-empowerment, to anchor this into you as well. Now we are activating the star tetrahedron, which is a Merkaba, which is two pyramids. Again, this is the masculine and the feminine. It's Sirius and Orion. It's the gold ray in the king's chamber and the Sirius blue silver ray in the queen's chamber. It's the two of these, one being receptive, open, and the other being empowering. And together we create form. This is the ultimate of the creator energies merging together for manifestation. Okay, so if you're familiar with the Merkaba, if you're familiar with the star tetrahedron, otherwise Google it, or join us in the Intuition Awakening School. And you want to start to look at it around you. The Flower of Life, The Secret of the Flower of Life by Drunvalo Melchizedek also has a very involved and complicated way of activating it, but he does a great job showing the history and understanding some of the sacred geometry and how to position it around you. However, you can probably find that anywhere on the internet at this point. Now, what we want to do is accept our sun gold God rays. And it's very interesting because I'm talking to a lovely friend, a lady, who about doing some special events next year, and maybe in Greece, and maybe at, as oracles, or because I remember being an oracle. It's my first past life I remember. Why is that a past life that's empowering to me? Well, I didn't ever really remember anything negative about it. I remembered only scrying and receiving and having this very calm and peaceful life, which I think I really appreciate now, because when you tune into the sacredness of life and your job is to talk to it all the time, you can't have all this cacophony of even lots of people around and stuff, So the divine feminine is coming, the power of Isis and Sekhmet. If you're familiar also, Sekhmet is an Egyptian goddess with a lion head. So another aspect of the divine feminine within the Leo energy. Now, there's also a lot of royal energy right now, because the Stargate portal is Leo, and the star, it's a royal star, Regulus, there's several of them. And there's a lot of starseeds. When I do starseed sessions, I shockingly find a fairly large amount of people who come from or who have had time on Regulus, which is the royal star, which is a part of Leo. And so this is a reclamation of your true power and value. And that's also a Leo energy, because the Leo energy is positive ego. It doesn't think it's better. It just knows it's great. And that's what you need to do. This is what we all need to do. We all need to completely let go of all of these ideas we were fed in so many ways, that we're not good enough, that we have to be different, that we have to be anything else in any moment than what we are right in that moment. And then, of course, you move towards whatever it is you love, but you do it in a way that is coming from love instead of coming from hating yourself or judging yourself or hating your circumstances or judging your circumstances or being caught up in them. So this is a sun bath. You're doing sunbathing today. You're both having that gold and silver ray, and the sun's at the great central sun chakra, the spiritual sun of Sirius. We talked about the pyramids. They're all receivers and generators, and they're all aligned to different stars and cosmic events. So if you study any of them at all, the stunning thing is how are they built, and how are they so accurate, and how are they still so accurate after all this time, even though, to be honest, the stars have moved. We have moved into new eras, and so they're slightly off from when they were built for that reason. But equinoxes and solstices and, all these different things. So the 777 downloads we talked about, make sure that you understand those all led us here. And there's no time, so you can go back and listen to those anytime you want. Self-love comes first because you're divine. And this is a message from the lion energy that came to me yesterday. Self-love has to come first because you're divine. From self-love, which I just told you is positive ego, right? That's the Leo, the light, the sun, the self, the fire, gold, manifesting and unifying ray. So from self-love, you are designed to overflow love into all your creations and allow them to please you and others, and to create prosperity for all who resonate. And I thought this was an exquisite, actually, statement to live from. The Lion's Gate is also a heart opening. So we're receiving all this wonderful energy and all this spiritual energy and this ability for rebirth and inspiration and new ideas. And it's giving us a possibility to raise our consciousness, to be more receptive, to enhance our psychic abilities. All these things are happening right now, whether you know it or not. And when you do the meditation with me in a minute, or you do any other work like we're doing in the class today and the next few days, this is going to also really open the heart. So the lion-headed goddess amplifies the queen's chamber through the shaft. So I've been in the pyramid several times. I've done profound meditations in the pyramid and ascension work. I've spent more than 9 hours inside the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, alone. I mean, with my group. So it's pretty profound, and that's a connection I have. So I always go there. However, you may resonate with something else. Okay. So we talked about that. The other thing to do is to realize that your inner eye is Isis's realm, and your resurrection of your ability to see, that means to communicate, to be able to receive all these different messages, to start to realize there's so much information for you in every moment if you could disconnect from your drama, from your story, from being caught up in this, that, and that, or letting your fear block you. So when it hits the Sphinx, the Great Pyramid, it activates a recalibration to a higher state of consciousness, resonates into that pineal gland, which is a tiny little pine cone, and as it comes back to life, sheds all the hardness, it acts as a frequency receptor. It's an antenna and a disseminator of the celestial light download. So all the work you have done, all the meditations you've done, all the classes you've done with me, all that, whatever you have done, okay, up to this point, feel wonderful about it, because you got your pineal, you got your inner eye, you got your light body, you got yourself to a state where right now you're going to be able to receive exactly the optimal amount of this celestial light download. All right, so this is a gift from this sovereign energy, this ruler and creator of your own reality. So up-level your heart. This is also the 8 is an infinity, and to me it's an infinity flow from above and below. And again, it's showing us that Queen's chamber, King's chamber, connecting the above and below, the body and the spirit, the feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang, okay? And that zero access point is also part of what's going to open today with this. So any work you do will be amplified, and any opportunity you have to say thank you, and receive and accept will allow you to receive and accept more. One more thing, we are still in Venus retrograde, and we started in July. I told you about it back then. Of course, I told you just went to Venus. Venus is one of our guides on our Intuition Awakening summer camp, and I'm having so much fun working with her, playing with her, watching her show up in different ways. She's our divine goddess and planet of wishes, of love, of beauty, of pleasure. That means pleasure, that you allow yourself to have what you want. You allow yourself to say what you want. You allow yourself to receive what you want. You allow yourself to always be filled with what you want, because then you know that you have more love to give, that your beauty radiates very, very far. Now, it only happens every 18 months, so we have like 3 more weeks or so, right? So we have 3 more weeks of this. And what does it mean? It means that we're reviewing and we're revisiting and we're releasing and we're renewing and we're doing all the re-energies, right? Going back into, do I love and accept myself? Do I love and accept what I really want? Have I decided what I really want? Am I willing to say what I really want, even just to myself? Am I willing to receive it without guilt? Am I willing to receive it and enjoy the pleasure, so that that is the energy that I'm giving back into the universe, into my family, into my house, into the home, and into the earth? So this is a chance to feel her helping you review what you love and what you accept and what you reject, and whether you're listening to your soul's wishes and you are willing to fulfill them. So I love that that's happening right now. And then we're having Mercury retrograde in a few weeks. So you're going to start feeling a little bit of a slowdown of the messages, and they're going to become a little more internal as we move towards that. And then there's a Perseid meteor shower going on. Most people on the planet can see this. Really wonderful. Check it out in your area. It's going to be peaking tomorrow, starting tomorrow. So what we're doing now is a rising or a rebirth. And that idea that our spiritual self has been buried inside this light, so intense we can't see it. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a lot of emotion. I've been feeling a lot of frustration. I know that was the energies. So I'm sitting with it. I'm accepting it. I'm allowing it. I'm practicing with it. I'm talking to it. And yet it's getting a little old, right? It gets a little bit like, let's be happy. I need to be happy. That's my jam. Is I realize if I don't have calm and peace and beauty and balance and happiness and joy around me and within me, I can't function. And when I can't function, everything in my life goes sideways. Money starts disappearing, and just people get sick, and everything goes wrong. And I've known this for a very long time, even before I understood the energetics under it, or I understood that I had a choice, or I understood that it was speaking to me. Okay, so now I want you to realize our spiritual sun is the same as our sun. It represents self, but our spiritual self. It could represent your spiritual self blueprint for this life, your spiritual self of the whole soul, because you're a whole soul, and you're going to start to realize that even though you're a key point person in that, you have a key position in your soul, you are not alone. All the parts of you want to evolve. All the parts of you want to share their knowledge. All the parts of you want your help too. So become someone who recognizes that there's other parts of you that may need what you have, or that you are working for, and that everything you do, everything you receive, everything you let go of, every freedom you take, every time you say, no, I have to listen to my heart. Oh, I'm not sure if I got that message right, but I'm going to try it again. Then you can be seen, your individual spiritual self. So the energies around us are doing this for us. And there's also the whole connection. I told you all about that. There's entire cities underneath the pyramids and the Sphinx. I've been down there with Thoth, and one of my teachers was given permission to go down one stairway, but it wasn't kept up. It was quite dangerous. But they've seen them. They've seen that there are these walkways and just towns and chambers and all kinds of amazing things underneath there. Now the Sphinx does the activation. So let's think about this. All the aspects of Leo, and if you have a Leo aspect, that's really cool too. But all of that divine feminine power coming to the sun. Where is this going to give you that? What is a cat energy? Why is the lion revered? Because it has a strong heart, because it loves itself, because it has a strong heart and it's able to love others. It's able to be courageous. It's able to, and that doesn't mean war, okay? We applied that to people who went to war. Oh, they're just so lion-hearted. Let's let go of that definition and apply it to who can be courageous to stand against the tide of hate? Who can be courageous to stand against the tide of criticism, to have to fit in, to have to let go of your truth, to live a life that sucks your spirit and doesn't at all advance the cause of the entire planet? Who are you to hold the whole people back? Who are you to do that? That's what you want to start asking yourself. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm ready to receive higher wisdom. I'm ready. I'm wired for this communication. The lion says detach from the drama, detach from the stories. Those aren't the point. This is a rebirth. Your spiritual sun is bathing you, loving you. The Sirians, the blue dolphins from Sirius, all this divine, loving, beautiful ascended master energy is just pouring through you, over you. It's activating the crystal grids around the planet, within the planet, within you. All right, and it's coming in to your 12th chakra. It's coming in to your solar plexus chakra, pouring around you, through you, and make sure that you allow it to burn the old, to strengthen and infuse so that your rebirth is at a higher, more attuned level. So you're moving through such intensity right now, just like Sirius has just gone right through that path of the sun, going very close. You've been burning down, burning away, burning within. Do you feel like that? Is there anything in your life that feels like it's burning down or burning within or wanting to burn away? This is the rebirth of your spiritual purpose and your path. Now, I've mentioned before, we have Pluto squaring the north-south node, which is your life path, which essentially means you can't go this direction. You have to find a different way to go on your life path. Your life path is now redirected. So be nourished and filled up, reactivate your inner spirit, get that heart-centered fire going. Fire is spirit. Inner spirit, rising of your spiritual self, the blueprint for your spiritual missions, the keys to the heart, Leo, okay? And then we have on the 13th, Venus rebirth, right? So we talked about how Venus is going to go direct near the end of the month. However, before that, Venus is going to meet the sun, and it's called a Venus star point. And at that point, this is before it goes direct, it transforms from an evening star to a morning star. It's kind of gradual, but by the time it goes direct, it's now going to be a morning star. That's a profound transformation. So that's another sign that the energies you're receiving now are helping you, nourishing you, releasing you, whatever you need. Those medicines, those messengers, those energies are here. And these are some of the messengers that are coming through for us right now. So rebirth, review, release, redesign your relationships with yourself, with your body, with your self-worth, with your money, your career, your wishes, your power, your love. And then we're going to have a Leo new moon. Okay. And those are going to be new seeds to plant. Okay. So this is the beautiful flow of what we have going on right now. And we are going to go into our meditation now. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. It's fun to talk about these energies because I start to feel them, and then they start to come in, and then they start to remind me of when they've talked to me and interacted with me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And pretty soon you realize you have so much information coming in for your own beautiful life, from your own beautiful downloads and your own beautiful path, that you don't need anyone else's drama. You know, you can live with the people you live with in harmony, and you can let people have the drama they want. Don't try to change people unless they ask for your assistance. Namaste, everybody. Transform, transform, transform. I will see you in a moment for our beautiful meditation. And please remember to come and join the Spirit Guide Council, the Sacred Circle, sorry, the Sacred Spirit Guide Circle. It's $23 a month. It's on sale right now. And if you start now, you can stop anytime. And as long as you continue, you always get that price. And it's going to be really, it's going to be juicy. Okay. Namaste, guys.